Hello, world. See if we get anybody in this thing. Get on in here, everybody. I don't think I went live in like 6 months. What up, though? How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic evening. Oh yeah, every day gets better and better. Sitting outside my daughter's soccer practice right now, and figured I would try this live thing. But we Gucci. It's approximately 27 degrees here in Kansas City. A little cold. We thugging it out. How's your week been, Miss Lisa? And Miss Rodriguez, how you doing? Oh, I appreciate you. I'm just Johnny. I I understand the concept that every time I walk out my house, I'm a role model whether I like it or not. And with me having my sons with me all the time, they talk like me now, they walk like me now. They be wanting to wear the same clothes, the same basketball shoes. So I know I gotta set a proper example for them. So it's cool having my little mirrors right there with me all the time. Versus my daddy got off work, had him either camo, the can of beer camos, or he like Budweiser, Colt 45, and a pack of Newport shorts. Ain't that the ones that come in the box? He didn't want the soft pack, the hard pack. So I just try to be engaged with my children as possible, because if I don't give them my love, the world is definitely gonna corrupt them. And I used to think it was crazy that I had my kids when I was so young, but now it's dope being the age that I am, and they like my little friends. We can run around and jump over the couch together and do backflips on the trampoline and all that. So I couldn't imagine their experience. It has to be cool having a father that really engages with you. We got down to 11 in Alabama. Oh man, yeah. Every year when it snows, we go outside with no shirts on and we throw the football around. But at the same time, when it's 110 degrees, we go to the basketball court and we play 21. Like, I just want them to be comfortable in the elements. And they mamas will never let them go outside. They mamas be telling them it's too cold to put a jacket on. And kids in Russia play outside and with -10. We got to have some heart a little bit. It's fun being a dad. I went through some ugly years, but at the same time, I take accountability for the individual I was going through those years. And now we on the other side, and it's all good in the hood. My little muscle babies, though. Each one of my boys they got to do 10 push-ups every morning. That's a part of their routine. Wake up, make your bed, brush your teeth, do 10 push-ups, and then get dressed for school. Nah, kids don't care about nothing. My 5-year-old, I be telling him he need a coat. He like, Daddy, I got a hoodie on, I'm okay. And I don't wear nothing but hoodies, so my boys, that's all they want to wear. So they mamas be mad when I don't put them in jackets. Yeah. Now, I dig the snow. Snow days are great. As a kid, I don't think my daddy ever played out in the snow with me, not once. Or my mama. They wasn't trying to rock like that. But in my heart, I feel like I'm still the same child I always been. Like maturely though, because I look at life from a different perspective, but I still have my same childlike nature. Kids are dope. I never thought I would have 10 of them, but here we are. Yeah, it got crazy over in the north. I seen at Buffalo, it was a lot of snow. Yeah, that's lit. I feel like parents that engage with you, it gives you like a different type of superpower to navigate the world. Like I communicated with them a lot, but they wasn't like physically active with me. I don't think my daddy ever threw the football with me. He didn't play basketball outside with me or nothing like that. With my mom, it was different though, because when our lights was off, we like would do hangman. We played hangman in that game, if y'all remember that. We played dominoes, solitaire a lot. She used to have me like, remember them big old thick books, the thesaurus and the dictionary, we had like A, B, C. We had those in our house, and I remember reading those with my mama as a child. So we did little nerdy things that helped me always have like a spark for knowledge. But hell to the no, my mama wasn't going outside to run around and do nothing crazy like that. Mama wasn't trying to mess up her weave or her nails. So whoever joined this chat, I need y'all to hit that like button for me, and then I want you to comment some good news, something that's positive that's happening in your life. It could be you, your kids, your cousin, your auntie, but spread a positive message for somebody else to pick up on. Oh yeah, definitely. Being around my kids every day, it keeps me younger. They some funny little people. No, my parents, I wish I could have videoed my life because it was unique. I used to like mediate my parents' arguments. Like mama and daddy used to be fighting, and I was like 10 years old. Like, mama, you need to listen to daddy, and daddy, you need to stop being so upset. It was I don't know. I was a special child looking back at it. Because you wouldn't think that my parents were the way they were. Like, they had crazy-ass domestic violence. My daddy was always in and out of jail. Both parents was on crack when I was a baby. Like, really was in the projects. But I evolved past everything. And that's why I look at the world as, like, a big stage. Because if a crack baby that grew up in a homeless shelter can become intellectual, then all this other stuff we seeing, something ain't right about it. Hey, Windex, I appreciate you for watching the videos and supporting the channel. We're just putting some new energy out into the world. Everybody got greatness inside of them, but the world, I don't know, the world is so negative, it's so dark and evil, and it's weird. I don't understand it at all. Like, I know I can't be the only person that's just happy every day. Like, there gotta be some other individuals out there like that. Because when I had a dark spirit, nobody felt it but me. Like, when I was super angry and didn't dislike the world kept going. So Johnny had to deal with the inside of Johnny. New York in the building, North Carolina in the building. What's up, gang? But yeah, once I healed myself, I looked around at the world and I was like, damn, people ain't as crazy as it seemed. They ain't as bad as they seem. They just went through something when they was a kid. Most adults' attitude is a result of their childhood trauma. And once you learn that about yourself, it's how do you not have empathy for the world at that point? Yeah, have you ever told me that I'd be growing up talking about God and all that? Man, no. But I remember one time I was a kid, I was on the metro stop with my mama, and we were just communicating. And this other lady was listening to me talk, and she's like, that little boy gonna be a pastor one day. And I was like, hell no. But I know my life and what I've been through, and I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God. I done been around too many people that done died, too many people that's in jail. too many situations. I done scammed every place you can scam. Like, we just grew up too hood. And for me to be all the way removed from it, and I ain't ever been in jail. I ain't got no felonies. The most I got is some baby mamas who, they cool with me at this point in life, and I take it. Because there's a lot of people that I know that they lost their life over something petty. I know a lot of men who don't have relationships with their children. I know a lot of men that are like millionaires that don't get to see their kids and they not happy, and I'm laughing, I'm smiling. I ain't a millionaire, but I don't deal with the issues that the guys got going on with women. I'm blessed in all ways, and I just say all glory to God. He looked out for you, boy. Because I know what it was like to getting the car keyed up and the girl showing up at your job and calling your mama and can't see your kids and being on child support. Man, it was rough. But I had to look myself in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong? And when I became better, the world around me became better. Like I said, my baby mama called me and said, I'm taking you off child support. That's winning. But she understood that it was really about, like, I wanted to be a daddy. I didn't run from nothing. Like, all my children have my initials, JMC. Because, you know, a lot of kids grow up without their daddy. And I wanted my children, or whatever happened in this world, to know daddy love you, and I'm down to thug it out for you your entire life. So it just worked out in my favor that I get to raise all my kids every day. Like I said, Kanye, a billionaire, he don't get to see his children every day. Elon Musk got all that money, he don't get to see his kids, but 365, 7 days a week, I get to walk through that front door, and they say daddy, and they run to me and give me a hug, and dog, it ain't no dollar amount that can replace that. My 2-year-old daughter, she's autistic, so she's nonverbal, she don't talk. But when I say our relationship is like this, we so close, I love that little girl so much. She's gave me a new appreciation for viewing life from a different perspective. Just, like I say, no man is your friend, no man is your enemy, but everyone can be your teacher. And I feel my children were given to me for me to learn from them. They gain stuff from their father, but they showed me my flaws, my insecurities, my weakness, my doubts, my worries. And how do I raise strong children if I'm a broken man? So I had to fix myself so they didn't have a broken father, and it's been dope. And that's from the 14-year-old down to the little baby that's 6 weeks. So all of them, they all daddy's goons. And if you didn't come from a strong family, I say make sure a strong family comes for you, man, because kids love their parents, dog. Like, kids want to do everything with you. I'm talking from every morning, my toddler say, Daddy, can I go in the basement and lift weights with you? If I'm making a YouTube video, it's Daddy, can I make a video with you? If I'm going to the grocery store, it's Daddy, I'm dressed, can I go with you? So just pour into your kids, man. It pays long-term dividends. We didn't have a car as a child, but everywhere we walked, I walked with my daddy. Like, everywhere we walked. And, you know, my daddy was real superstitious, so you couldn't split the pole. You couldn't walk behind him because he needed to be able to see you. You had to get to the metro stop on time because, you know, the metro, the bus could come 5-10 minutes early. So, now my daddy, he put the standard on me for a young man. Like I said, by worldly standards, he's an alcoholic. But to me, he was just a man who lived in this crazy ass world who was stressed out, and alcohol was how he dealt with things. But I raised my children the same way that he raised me, and I'd rather be 5 hours early than be 5 minutes late. Like, my grandma always said, you are a walking resume, and the world expects you to be ignorant anyway, so you got to shock everybody. Yeah, I think the world is craving real. It's craving authentic. But Shakespeare said the world is a stage, so you can be whoever you want to be. And I've just looked around at the masses of people who gain a big platform. I'm like, something ain't right. Because if you grew up in the hood and you got out the hood, then you would understand those people's mindsets. And nobody has to be this tough gangster 24/7, 365. Like, that just ain't reality. Like, don't you go to Walmart or Walgreens or Family Dollar or Sunfresh or Target or whatever? Yeah, I don't let my kids walk behind me. Like I said, it's a lot of things that I got from my daddy. That when I was a child, I thought he was hard on me, but he was really looking out for me. Like, he told me never ride 4 deep in the car. He said, you never need to be driving a car and have 4 or 5 niggas with you. That's asking for trouble. So to this day, it's me, it's my gym bag, or it's my children. But I don't stay with a lot of friends because my daddy said you don't need to be getting caught up in something or getting shot at behind what they got going on. And most of the people that I know that got shot at, it was behind something petty. And I was like, damn, daddy was right. He always gave me a lot of advice. As a child, the world said he was crazy. But as a grown man, I'm like, oh, he knew what he was talking about. He was really looking out for me. I think that's the greatest privilege in the world is growing up with both parents. I don't think nothing can replace that. And I don't even think it had to be a good home, because like I said, my parents had domestic violence. They did drugs. They was drunk every night, but I still got the yin and the yang. I got to see the good and the bad. So as my grandpa said, you eat the meat and you spit out the bones. You take what's good for you and you discard the rest. And I don't grow into the man I am if I don't have my father. At the same time, I don't become who I am if I don't have my mama. Because like the longer she's dead, the more I love her in like a weird twisted way, because I understand her. Like when you're 16, you don't get why your mama is waking you up for you to drive her to the club and then calling you like, hey, boo, this club is lame. Take me to another club. I'm like, Mom, I got high school in the morning. But now it's like, well, she was broken. She didn't know her father. So crazy story I could tell you about my mama, because I like to be really honest. Hey, shout out to Mike the dad for the 50. Hey, I ain't seen you in a minute, man. I missed you, my guy. We got to get this going more often. But when my mother was 14, she was pregnant. And my grandmother made her go through the entire pregnancy and then give the baby up for adoption. So somewhere in this world right now, I got an older brother. Never met him, don't know his name, none of that. But every year on his birthday, my mama would just cry. And as a kid, I didn't get it. I'm like, Mama, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you always sad about something? And as an adult, it's like, holy cow. That's why she coddled to me the way she did. That's why, I was my mama's baby, dog. Like, she would make dinner for the family, and if I didn't like it, she would make me something separate. Like, my mama really coddled me like she shouldn't have type shit. But I truly could say, like, her dying, that's what really helped me grow up, because I had to stop being a mama's boy, and I had to accept being a man. Like, she watched my kids every weekend for me. If it was another chick I wanted to go see in the middle of the week, mama watched the kids. So I got to be young and reckless when mama was alive. And she always said that I could keep you out of the streets, so I can keep you away from the girls. But so she let me like do whatever when it came to girls. And she said I would learn my lesson eventually. And I did. And that's why I don't understand the way the world pushes sex on young kids, because nothing productive comes from it. You wasting your energy. It's real low vibrational. You look back and you don't remember half the people that you laid down with, or you become a parent at a young age to somebody you really don't want to be, around for your forever. So, man, value your body as a young man. I mean, young women as well, but really, like, as young boys, we taught that we need to go out and get our numbers up, and we need to count how many women we sleeping with. And I can say, as a man who lived that life, it was a waste of time. I could have done so much more productive things. I love my kids now, but to say I've created 10 humans is like ridiculous. Like, it just shows a lack of self-control and a lack of discipline. And you got to learn to control yourself in all areas, or you'll be a slave to your lust, to your urges. Oh yeah, for real. Yeah, following the crowd is a suicide mission. I just luckily, I ain't got to go with the flow. I am the flow. But I was always like that as a young kid. I never wanted to be like other people. And I can remember my 6th grade teacher, Miss Stevenson. One time she had pulled me to the side and she was like, Johnny, I want you to know you don't have to turn out like the rest of these kids. And in the time, I didn't know what she was talking about. But now it comes full circle that while most of my friends are dead in jail, I'm sitting outside of soccer practice. Really a daddy. I coached the 4th grade basketball team and the 5th grade basketball team. I'm totally different than everyone I grew up around. And I can't say that they didn't want bigger for themselves or out of life. They just didn't see a reality to make it happen. And I just luckily, because my daddy told me to stay away from peers, basketball, you don't need friends to hoop. You get a ball and go to a court. You don't even need a court, because you get a milk crate, cut the bottom out. You get a hanger, bend that hole over a door. and you do your thing. So, basketball kept me, it kept me out of trouble. I say it saved my life. And even though I had my children as young as I did, they definitely have turned me into somebody I did not know I could be, right? Because, I mean, I've been raising my daughter since she was in 5th grade, in kindergarten is when her mama let me get her. So I go from being this young boy who's messing with 25 girls at a time to now being responsible for a young daughter. And it turned out lit. It turned out way better than what I ever thought. I know mama watching, she's super dummy hype of Leah and who she done turned into be, because my little daughter is she's a fantastic person, because I'm extremely honest with her about life and about men and about the reality that she's stepping into. And I always tell her biggest battle gonna be as she get older, do you listen to your daddy or do you listen to the world? Because the world gonna have a different perspective. And as a daddy, I'ma always love you, no matter what path you choose. If you want to listen to the world, you can do that and come back and say, Daddy, you was right. But the best part is I understand that my kids, they aren't mine. I get to raise them for a period of time, but they're God's children just as I am and as all you are. And I can just do the best to put my values and my principles inside of them, and then they got to go out and do their thing. That's why I don't listen to people when they tell me I'm a good father, because I ain't did nothing yet. Them kids live in my house. They got to go by my rules. They got to do what I say. But once they get out in the world on their own, that's when we can truly see if I did a good job or not. But I'm still driving the car right now. So if they do something in the school, teacher called me on speed dial. I'm pulling up to the school. So right now they got to have fantastic behavior, but you hope that that the principles that you put inside of them, that they can maintain when they get out in a crowd of their peers. Because we all know how peer pressure is. So I hope I'm raising my children to be the strongest magnet in the room. And raise your children the same way, your nieces, your nephews, because peer pressure is a real thing. It's a lot of situations that I was into that I shouldn't have been in, but the people around me was able to influence me. And these are just subjects that we aren't, or they go unspoken, right? So you don't, or you look up and somebody dead and nobody want to claim who got the gun. Or you watch like on The Wood when they get pulled over and they start when they with Stacy and old boy start crying. Like that's really what it's like. And if you watch TV, it paints this narrative of all these tough murderers, but everybody who I've seen physically being shot, they cry. Nate got shot on my front porch when we was 16. Leroy shot him, who stayed across the street. And then Leroy came to us like a month later and said, hey, I'm sorry for shooting at your house. Like, nigga, what? But all of those stories now, it makes life more beautiful, because I really value life. When you see people die all the time, you understand this thing is real. And that's the thing, like, I had ghetto parents, but my mom was still extremely selective of what kids she let me play with. Don't play with them. They bad. You don't need to be at their house because they mama is a stripper. Like, my mama was that parent. We had to be in the house by 8:30 when the street lights was on. And when we lived on 41st in Virginia, we lived next door to a foster home. So it was probably 50, 60 kids in that house. And there was always rotation. So my mama was very involved on who he was talking to, who he was playing with. And we didn't have a house phone as a kid. So you had to go straight to school and then get back home. So it wasn't having a lot of friends. And we didn't have lights. I mean, we had it here and there, but never consistently. Like, I can't think of many times we had lights, water, and gas at the same time. And the masses of people will hear that and I think it's bad, but you don't understand you living in poverty until the world tell you are. I thought it was cool that my daddy worked at KFC. We used to get free chicken. I wasn't complaining. Like this concept of high value man, I don't think you would ever hear a child consider his father's salary on if that makes him a good father or not. It's, are you spending time with me? Are you playing? Like, do you know my favorite TV shows is? Can you watch Paw Patrol with me? Can you jump on the trampoline? Like, just the little things. And when you hear all these concepts that float around on the internet, it seems like everybody forget about kids. If your man does this, you should leave him. If your girl acts like this, and then what about this damn child who got to have 2 Christmases and 2 bedrooms and change schools and make new friends? And I don't know, man, our world, just the way it puts things out, it's unique to me. But maybe that's just Johnny. I don't know. Yeah, we didn't do sleepovers either. The only person's house we could spend the night over was my Aunt Sheila. And she lived in the suburbs, so that was real nice. But no, and I'm like that right now with my kids. My daughter, who's in having soccer practice, she had asked me probably like a month ago, could she go spend the night at one of her friends' house? And I was like, I don't know their parents. I don't know if they have male cousins. I don't know if they have brothers. I don't know if their mama got a boyfriend who could show up to the house at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's just a lot of things as a daddy. I don't know. So you got to be in my house where I can protect you. And I understand that she'll grow up and I'll face that hurdle when it comes. But right now, I just try to protect my children as much as I can because this world is weird. And some kids are exposed to a lot more than what your kids are. And I really try to allow my children to be children, not to be in grown-up situations or dealing with grown-up issues, but to embrace your youth, because once it's gone, it's gone. And my 10 and 9-year-old, when they were in Texas, they were living in an extremely different environment. They were just growing up way too fast with the things that they were consuming, the way they were talking. And they've been with me the last 2 years, and I can say they kids again. They just some little boys. They sit around and watch SpongeBob and Phineas and Ferb and Space Jam. You know, they're back to being children. And versus when they were down in Texas, they wanted to be little King Vons and little NLE Choppers and all that. And it's beautiful to, you know, remove those negative seeds and plant positive seeds that you know pay long-term dividends. And that's dope. I'm working on something like that now. I want to have my house be the kicking spot for the kids. Like, I coach the kids in basketball, so when I show up to the gym, we get hyped. You know, I still got a little jumper on me. I can jump a little bit, so it's cool to be able to sit around with, you know, 30, 40 kids and have a real relationship with them. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I didn't coach my kids' soccer team, football team, basketball team. You name it, I didn't coach it. I just want to look back and have those memories with my children. Just because I know the difference it would have made for me. Like, when I went to go play basketball every day, I was playing with the drug dealers and the hood dudes. So, I mean, it was dope, but I wish I would have had my daddy there. When Yanni, that's my homeboy, he might be watching this stream. Yanni pulled out a gun like every damn day. He got into it with somebody all the time. Chris was always getting into it with somebody all the time. Chris Hale. Well, his 5-year-old son got murdered, actually. Jay was always getting into it with somebody. Two of his children have been murdered, and his daughter is in jail for murdering the boy who murdered his son. So I was just this little basketball playing dude in the middle of all these. Bobby was shot. Randy was shot. James was shot. And then it was just Johnny. So it was Reese was in and out of jail. Damo was in and out of jail. T-Mac is dead. He got a son. I got to figure out how to get in touch with his son. But no, I mean, it's unique seeing people one day and the next day you writing RIP on their locker in high school. And for some reason, like, you know, the internet shows you videos of people getting shot and people dying, but I don't think people really grab the concept. Like, you never get to speak to somebody again. Like, it's a crazy experience to talk to somebody one day and never hear from them again. Like, if I knew my mama was gonna die, I would have probably asked her like 7 million questions. Like, when did I get asthma? Did you breastfeed me, or did I have formula? Like, all these little things that you don't know, or you don't even think that's important until you can't ask those questions. And that's why I really try to put out on this channel, man. If you got some people around you, you can mend those relationships and move forward and let go and let God fix it. Because you don't want to be that person when somebody died and you crying around, say, oh my God. When my baby mama, when her mama's other boyfriend died, she started crying, and she was married to some other man, and she was like, I still loved him and never got over him. It's like, why didn't you tell that man that when he was alive? Yeah, I don't know a lot about autism, honestly. My daughter, she just got her diagnosis maybe like last week. So we're in the very beginning stages of seeing what therapy is needed and what we can do for her. But I look forward to the process. Like I said, I love her so much. Because I don't talk a lot. Like, I know this is YouTube, so I have to speak, but I'm a very quiet person. and having a daughter that's nonverbal. Like we make eye contact and hand gestures, and I know when she's thirsty. I know when she need her diaper changed, and she'll move my arm and just come lay on my chest when she's ready to lay down. And it's a really, really, really awesome relationship to have. I was in a fashion show a few years ago, Fashion Honors Autism, where we was about 10 kids, and we dressed them up and put them on the runway. And I had to do like 3 or 4 workshops to learn how to deal with autistic kids. So God makes no mistakes. So because now I got my daughter, and it's like I'm so comfortable with her because of those workshops I took in the past. Oh yeah. I need to learn how to swim, Mike. That's on my bucket list, is learn how to swim. It wasn't no pools when I grew up, and we didn't have a car, so we used to play in the fire hydrant in the summertime. But my daughter and all my kids are fantastic swimmers, though. Like, that was something that was important to me. Yeah, I'm not sure how my daughter gonna turn out. Either way it go, that's my baby girl. I love her, whatever. But it's lit. It's cool, and like it helps me teach my other children empathy. Like I said, it's 8 of them all together in the house, so everybody's learning how we can help dream me out and looking out for it. And it's cool having a big family. It's hard sometimes because it just be loud and everybody say daddy, 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 and will you play with me, and daddy, can you do this, and daddy, I need more batteries, and daddy, can you buy me this, and daddy, I probably hear daddy at least 1,000 times, no lie, every day. Some days it's up to about 5,000, but no less than 500 every single day. And if I ain't hearing it verbally, I'm getting it in a text message or in a phone call. And that's the 3-year-old up to the 14-year-old. Oh yeah, they swim really good, and that's what I got to figure out with my autistic daughters. You know, she's drawn to water, so I got to keep her away from any and everything. But yeah, she loves water. So when we have a pool, we got to make sure we got a fence around that thing to keep her away from it. But my oldest daughter, she's gonna probably be on the swim team because she's really nice at it. And then all the boys just kind of fall in line behind her. You know, if there's nothing else, I try to give my kids the greatest childhood ever. Just something they don't have to grow up and recover from. And money ain't involved in that. That's really what I've learned. It ain't about the wealth, because it's some millionaire kids that's fragile and their spirit is broken and they ain't got no confidence. But if you make somebody feel good on the inside, man, people never forget how you make them feel. And was the whole point of this YouTube thing is, man, I studied Jim Rome and Bob Proctor and Les Brown, and one thing about them is they make you feel good. But in our new generation, it ain't nobody who wants to make you feel good, to let you know it's hope, that it ain't all doom and gloom, and that you can walk by faith and not by sight. But maybe that's why God put me on earth. Who knows? But I just can't get with the darkness. What does it say? Oh, you said she could be shown how to swim? Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, all of this is cool. I'll never consider myself an influencer. I think that shit lame. And it's really hard to consider myself a public figure, because at the end of the day, I know I'm just a human. Like, whether you got $1 or $1 million, whether you never been on TV or you get broadcasted on every single TV network, like, you still the same person you always been. So my ego won't allow me to fall into that. I think it was Wayne Dyer said ego is edging God out, EGO. And I understand this is God. This ain't me. So I be lying to y'all and being hypocritical if I try to, stick my chest out like, yeah, this is just Johnny. Like, this is something spiritual for sure. Random thoughts be coming, random ideas, and we all connected to infinite intelligence. I just been able to tap into my power a little bit because I'm not caught up in the distractions of the world. But I also got credit like Neville Goddard, Dr. Joseph Murphy, Wallace D. Wattles, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Like, The best part about growing up in the hood is I don't need to watch TV. I don't need to study hood culture. I don't need to listen to rap. That's my real environment. I can go down to 12th Street right now. I can go to TV Walkers, and all that. So I don't need to consume the quote unquote culture. I need something that's going to rock with me. And that's why, like I asked in that Dax video, like most people who take their life is they want to escape the reality that they live in. But like, what if you take your life and you wake up and you still remember you? Like, obviously you don't take your material property with you when you leave Earth, but do you retain your intellectual property? And if you do, then wouldn't the goal be to learn as much on this physical plane as you possibly can so you can take that knowledge with you? Just a thought. Oh yeah, money is dope when you can pay your rent and your car note and stuff like that. But outside of the little small things, you are still you. And that's like it's so dope to realize that before you get rich. Because when you broke and you poor, you like, nigga, when I get paid, it's gonna be this and it's that. It's like, no, you still gotta go to DMV and register your car, you still gotta pay car insurance, you still gotta redo them tags every 1 or 2 years, depending on what you get. So it's just the simple, your kids gonna still irritate you. The teacher's still gonna call you when they acting up. So it don't change too much. It just changed the environment that you get to be in and things like that. So I look forward to elevating my environment because inside of my head, my reality is different. But if you heard the quote, it says the visionary is often tortured by the vision. Because when you got a vision, you know what you're trying to accomplish or what you're trying to create. But when you open your eyes every day, you still live in your current reality. So that's where the faith comes in and the patience to knowing eventually we're going to get there. Oh, yeah. No. We didn't learn how to be responsible with nothing. So when we get the bag, we really going to be responsible. The little things like poverty is a blessing because it makes you value little stuff. Like, and I don't realize how evolved I am sometimes. Like, my kids don't have to eat Roman noodles. My kids don't have to have, bologna and salami sandwiches, dog. They ain't drinking the Always Save juice that, it's different colors, blue, red, blue raspberry, orange, stuff like that. So to me, my kids are rich compared to what I live. But I thought I was rich until the world told me I wasn't. Like, I was talking to my son for New Year's. I had bought them some little sparkling cider. And he was like, Daddy, can I shake it and blow it open? I said, nah, boy, I don't want to clean it up. Once Daddy make his first million, you could do that. He was like, Daddy, aren't you already a millionaire? And I thought that was crazy as hell. Like, that's cool that my son looks at me and it just assumes I'm a millionaire because I can buy them whatever the hell they ask for, not knowing I get up and go to work every day, little cuz. But it's just cool when your kids see greatness in you because then they know they can step out and be great. So it's once again, it's just planting positive seeds. And the day you plant the seed isn't the day you eat the fruit. So it's possible to take life to the next level, but you got to have the idea before it happens in reality. All things start as a thought. Yeah, I'm gonna have to holler at my wife about teaching her to swim. I know she was talking about some swim classes or something for her. And it's something to do every night. My 3-year-old is in dance. 5-year-old play bitty ball. 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old play basketball. 14-year-old play soccer and volleyball. So I am their personal Uber driver, but I'm sure a lot of parents out there know how it feels. But we didn't have a car as a kid, so I was walking to my cross country meets and I was walking to my basketball games. So it's cool to be able to sit there and cheer for my children because I remember my childhood. You on the court and you look in the stands and it's everybody parent there but yours. So it's cool to always be there for my kids. 2 things that I made a promise to myself I would do. I would always be there for my children, and I'll always be respectful to their mothers. Like, regardless of how much we don't get along or how much the situation played out, I just don't think kids need to see their mama and daddy being disrespectful to each other. It don't help. The 2 people they love the most at each other's throats. So no matter what go on with my baby mamas, they're my dogs. in front of my kids, of course. You know, when the kids ain't around, we do what we got to do. But I really want my children to see how a man is supposed to deal with a woman. And you ain't got to get all emotional, be arguing and yelling and going back and forth. Just remove yourself from the situation and come back to it at a better time. Because if I don't do that, I don't get to raise my kids every day. But because I didn't play the emotional game, here we are. Yeah, maybe me and my daughter can learn to swim together. We can put both of us in that pool. I keep saying I've had so many people tell me that they was gonna teach me to swim, and I've gotten a lot better because I used to put my face in the water in the shower, and I would feel like I was drowning. I would panic and stuff. But now I can at least stand in the shower. So baby steps. I do think the concept of swimming is cool though. Like, it looks cool and it looks easy. It just, for some reason, when I get in the water, because I just go to the bottom. Oh, yeah, she loves, dude. She's drawn to water is an understatement. Or I could say she's just drawn to things that could be very dangerous for her. Like, she has no fear. Climbs on the table, almost jumps off the table. You name it. Like when you know how you watch the news and they tell you like a kid wandering down the street. I didn't used to understand how that happened, but now that I have my daughter, I understand that she'd just go and just wouldn't turn around, and she'd just be 7 blocks away before she even realized it. So anytime we go somewhere in public with her, we always gotta hold her, because if you put her down, little mama taking off. But once again, I think it's something to help me grow. You know, everything that happens in your life is for a reason if you can learn to look at it from that perspective, and it's all to make you evolve into a better person. Oh, so that's the problem. I don't have enough body fat. Is that why I go to the bottom? I mean, it sounds good to me. Now, I really be like in the water, cuz I be moving my arms, but I be like, man, this shit ain't working. But my boys got low body fat, and they just be swimming, but maybe because it's kids, so it's easier to them. But yeah, I be confused on what's going on. But I would love to do like a backflip off the diving board or a front flip, or one of those things. Hey, I appreciate you for rocking with the message. The dopest part about YouTube is I have no idea who watches these videos. I have no idea who can see the post on the community page, because I'm not looking for validation. I'm not looking for like, oh, it's cool for somebody out there who could be having a bad day and they scroll their phone, they see that, like, damn, you know what? That was cool. Or it's to be watching a random music video and to hear somebody say something and it spark you a little bit. It's like somebody told me that they were suicidal, but they was about to get back into writing. Like, I get some comments and it's like, damn, this is crazy. And the way comments work is weird, because like a video will say it got like 7 comments, and I'll click on it and it'll say no comments available. And then I'll go back to that video like 3 days later. Then I can see all the comments. So anybody who think I'd be rude or not responding, I promise this thing is weird. Or it's like I'll respond to comments thinking I'm gonna start engaging with somebody, and then I just never hear back from them again. So I'm not sure what happened. Oh, good night, Miss Lisa. If I wasn't at soccer practice right now, I'd be asleep already. I promise to God I would, but daddy duty calls. That is the only reason that I am up right now. Oh yeah, man, we gonna get the swimming thing down, Mike. Just understand, I'm gonna be Mike Phelps in this hole real soon. Right now though, I'm on the edge with the kids holding the wall, just kicking my feet, bro. But we gonna evolve. Yeah, I'm up at 4 a.m. daily. I used to always get up real early to record my content, but like I said, my daughter is autistic, so her sleep schedule is all over the place. So sometimes she sleep until 7 a.m. Sometimes she wake up at 2 a.m. and she want to be up till 5. So whatever she throwing out, I take it off my wife. My wife ain't a night person like that. So if my daughter up at 1, we up at 1. We playing with toys and we having tea parties and we doing it until she passed out at 3:30 or 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. But I've just really had to adjust my life around her and really around all the kids. But she the only one who be up at night. And like I think this morning she was up at like 5 a.m. Oh, that's dope. No, I remember you gave I gave you my number. Yeah, I'm debating because I know it's like trolls because we all live in the same world, but I really be wanting to give my cell phone number out to people because I'm a real person. Because call me, I'll text you back, like whatever. Like I don't have a persona that I'm trying to like portray to the world or a character. Like nigga, I'm really just Johnny who grew up in Kansas City and got a bunch of kids, and I'm like, damn, we all get manipulated to not believing in ourselves and not loving ourselves. So I'm just trying to purely help the world out so people don't go through so long making terrible mistakes. And it ain't a race thing, you know. It's God's side and the other side, and God care about all of us. He ain't judging us. It's you to hold on to the negative things. God forgave you a while ago. Yeah, like I said, Mike, I'm comfortable putting my face in the shower water. So we gonna keep evolving. We gonna next summer. I'm call it now. By the end of next summer, I'm gonna be able to swim. I'm calling it now. I'm gonna take it serious. Cause normally we go to the pool and I just sit on the side and the kids be like, "Daddy, get in!" I'm like, nah, y'all do your thing. But I'm about to really buckle down on it and start swimming, and then be posting videos like David Goggins. Practice should be over soon. I'm tired. I appreciate. I truly do what I can. I just try to be Johnny. That's all I can do. If you was to call my daddy, my aunties, I always smiled and laugh, and I got a joke for you. But I don't know. I think we need more people to be authentic in the world. However, the way the algorithm works, right? Like it's easy to look at content and say I'm gonna do what they doing so I can get likes, so I can get views. I understand how this world works. Everybody trying to make a check. Everybody trying to pay their bills. You know, it's easy to slam dunk on all of the people from Hollywood because they quote unquote sold their soul. But what the hell the people who work for Fox or the big conservative blogs do? They did the same thing. They tell you what you can talk about, what you can't talk about. And if you say something outside the guidelines, we firing your ass. It's the same as any other job. So I see it for what it is. I don't judge people. Everyone does what they have to do to pay their bills. Most people probably aren't proud of what they do to pay their bills. But if you can lay your head on your pillow at night and you proud of what you did, then that's it, man. I do what you do, but watch my shoes. There's too many people in this world that's trying to judge others, but really ain't got it all gravy in their own backyard. Oh, I've been skiing and snowboarding once or twice in my life. I wasn't the greatest at it, but I was out there on the slopes. I do want to take my kids snowboarding. That's something I think they would really love doing. Now, God, it's real. When I was young, I didn't believe in God. Like I went through all stages in life, as I think you should as a functioning adult. And my parents wasn't religious, so it was something I fell into on my own. Yeah, no, I can't get with judging people, man, because I knew who I used to be. And when I was the worst, I really didn't know who I was. I was being who the world told me I should be. We all go through a period of insecure and doubt and fears and worries, and that's whether you 5'2" or you 7'5". You still just a human that was born into this world. And so confidence is a muscle that has to be built up. And I'm confident in myself now because of my life experiences, because of what I've been through. So if my life isn't as hard, I probably don't look at the world from this perspective, where I wouldn't step out. Definitely not talk publicly, because, you know, people don't like different perspectives. If you don't go with the narrative, they dislike you. And I really think that's what happened in the beginning is I killed the narrative. I don't even know. Like, that's the thing is I'm still trying to figure that out of what led me to, like, most of my tattoos on my body are Bible verses, which is like crazy. I got Matthew 20:16. I got Galatians 2:20. My right leg said, "My God is my judge." My left leg said, "Jesus walks with me." So I've always had like a little, I guess, spiritual base, if that makes sense. I was a part of Fellowship of Christian Athletes when I was a kid. So every summer we would go to like church basketball camps and we would pray a little bit. But I never dived head first into it. We never went to church for real. I went to Milestone Youth Center. So every Monday we would go play basketball. But before we would play basketball, Pastor Mike would make us read the Bible. And as a kid, once again, nothing stuck with me. I couldn't remember a Bible verse or a scripture back then. But my first son died and nothing changed. And then my second son died and nothing changed. And then my mama overdosed. And that's when I want to say, like, I start having my breakthrough. Like, I start letting go of the shell of the world. I took the gold teeth out of my mouth, took the rims off my car. I sold probably 50 pair of Jordans on eBay. I stopped caring about what clothes I was wearing. I stopped putting earrings in, just all the feminine shit that the society pushes on you that really don't matter. My baby mama wouldn't let me see my kids, and that's really what it was. I couldn't see my kids. So I couldn't see my children. When I first started my YouTube channel, you can go back and look at the videos. At the end of every video, I used to say all my kids' names, and I would say, "Daddy loves you." And I can remember I used to lay at night in bed, and I used to say, "God, tell Kobe and Jace I love him." But I used to pray for both my baby mamas. I know that sounds crazy, but if my baby mamas ain't doing good, then my kids not doing good. So I legitimately used to pray for those women every night before bed. And I want to say I got to have my kids. And my June bug, he's 9 now, but his mama had moved him away from me when he was 2 months old. And every time I would get to see him, it was 2 weeks here, a week here, a month here, 6 weeks here. But he would always cry so hard when we would have to leave. And I would always say, "Hey, one day we're going to be together every day. One day we're going to be together every day." I never knew how it was going to happen. I never expected that his mama would really let it happen. But it's here. And now we laugh. And it's like, cuz, remember we used to talk about this? Remember we said one day we'd be together every day? And now it's here. So I want to say God heard my prayers, because I never asked for money. I never asked for anything outside of God let me raise my kids every day. That's the only thing I wanted, and my prayers was answered. Oh, that's shout out to my guy Ryan. Yeah, man, I can't even put in words on what it's like watching your kids succeed at something. Like, I know how I feel when I'm on the basketball court and I hit a dope shot or throw a nice pass. But, man, that feeling don't compare to watching my son do something on the court, dude. I would give up playing basketball ever again if I just had to watch my son play for the rest of my life. Like, I love watching that little boy on the court because he moved just like me. The way he dribble, the way he crossover, his step back, I mean, everything. And he'd do a move on the court, and he'd look over at me. We lock eye contact. It just, having a child is something I can't explain. And I'm sure it's a lot of people out there know what I'm talking about. Whether it's athletically or academically, or your kid can cook real good and make you some fire cook, whatever it is, man, just watching your children, become something, it's beautiful. Because we all know what it takes to have confidence. It ain't something you got to try, and you got to be willing to fail. Yeah, that was the beautiful part about life. Is my parents never, ever discussed religion. Never. Only time we went to church is when we was begging for somebody to pay our bills, or we was in the church got the food pantry so you can get free food or free clothes. And that's why I like raisins so much, because they always had raisins at the food pantry. That was like the only thing sweet. And then my homeboy, his wife's daddy was a pastor, and I seen him out at the club with so many different women. So I had a nasty taste about church. But as I've evolved, I understand that your relationship with God is a phone call, not a conference call. So if you go into church to get the message, then you're going to miss the message. If you go into the pastor to get the message, you're going to miss the message, because it's directly between you and him. Ain't no third party, ain't no middleman. And once you grab that concept, you're on your way. Yeah, I'm closer to my daddy now than I've ever been in my life. Truly. We talk on the phone every day. If my daddy go 2 days without calling me, he called me like, "Hey boy, I ain't heard your voice in a minute." So it's dope. I can't remember how much money my dad has ever spent on me in my life, but I'm 34 years old and I can still talk to my daddy every day. That's privilege. Because I know a bunch of white kids that can't do that. So race ain't got nothing to do with it, man. It's if you got parents that love you, it does a lot more for you than you could ever imagine. Because I didn't think, me and my dad used to fist fight in the middle of the street. My daddy totaled out my first car, my 1985 Colors. He was driving drunk. Me and my pops had been through it. But I let that man I don't even know if he's my daddy for real, because my mom's already dead, and my dad has two daughters, so I have two older sisters, and they say they did 23andMe, and everybody in the family came up but me, and I'm way more athletic than everybody else. I do look a little different. So when my daddy called me and found the news out, he asked me, did I want to go take a test to find out if he was really my father or not, and I was like, no. You've been in my life every day. You walked me to preschool. You know, regardless of what some blood say, you my daddy to me. So I ain't tripping. I don't need no validation, because validation is the history we got together. So he could be my daddy, he could not be, but in my heart, that's my pops. I love him. What's petty, though, I can tell you about my mama, and this is why I say it could be true that that's not my real father, because my dad's name is Johnny Maurice Daniel. My name is Johnny Maurice Calloway. Why did my mama give me his first name and his middle name, but not his last name? I don't know. I wish she was alive so I could ask her, but that seemed a little suspect to me. But what it is, you know, they just people, you know. They did the best they could with the knowledge they had. And I love my mama regardless of what scam she did, you know. Oh, your daughter joined the FBI? That's lit. My daughter, when she was a kid, she used to say she wanted to be a cop all the time. I have a video of her. She's 3 years old, walking on stage. I'm like, what do you want to be when you grow up? She's like, I want to be a cop. Yeah, there's like little things that I wish I could ask my mama. But she already gone now. But it's like, Mama, what? Mama, you thought you was slick, didn't you? Oh yeah, I agree, man. All you can do is, that's what made me grow up. I think it's Confucius to say we all got two lives, and the second one begins when we realize we only have one. And when my first two kids died, I didn't change. I didn't mature. But when my mama died, it was like, holy shit, this is mama, cuz I can't say what clicked, but it really hit me. Like, life is real, and we way too playful with this thing. Like imagine if Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Booker T. Washington, instead of them writing autobiographies, they was like writing TikToks. They was coming up with jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the greatest time to be alive, because we all have a cell phone. We all can leave a message to our descendants. We all can say something to our children, to our great-grandchildren. And if you look at what's floating around on the internet, it's modern women and modern men, and you know, if they don't make six figures, it's like, wait till the generations of kids who aren't born yet in the year 3000 look at the art we were putting out. They're like, damn, these people were stupid. They literally spent every day talking about why men don't need women and women don't need men. It's like, we missing a great opportunity, and that's why I say you don't know a distraction is a distraction until it's completed its job distracting you. Because everybody has the ability to create art right now. But the average person would rather scroll than to use his imagination to create something that the world could enjoy. Because whatever you create, somebody's going to watch it. Somebody's going to consume it. Somebody's going to love it. You got to be comfortable to step out and put it out to the world. And yeah, it's going to be people that don't like it and criticize it and knock it. But that's the yin and the yang. That's dope. Now, having a mom's is cool. Like, that's something I can say that I remember is the love that came from her and how she was always worried about you. And that's why I think a lot of men, you got to embrace the love that your mama give you and be able to separate it from what your wife gives you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, growing up as a human is unique because relationships are all reflections of you. Everybody you see, everybody you deal with, you know, that's a mirror to yourself unconsciously, whether you acknowledge it or not. And when you find things in other people that you don't like, it's ways for you to heal yourself, because there's nothing inside of another person that really should trigger you. Oh, that's crazy. You was adopted, Mike. Yeah, it don't really bother me. My dad was pretty sad when he had heard, and he called me. He was like, "You're not mad at me?" You know, I was like, "No. Why the hell would I be mad at you? You didn't do nothing." So he can't control it. Oh, I gotta get that Dirk Miller song on the channel. I'll probably knock it out tomorrow. Daughter back in the car for soccer practice finally. How was practice?
It was good. We scrimmaged the whole time.
Scrimmaged the whole time?
The lights went off.
Inside the building?
Yeah, exactly at 10 o'clock. Lights went off.
So it's done
Pitch
dark.
black. I could not see anything.
Right on. When we live on YouTube, you wanna say hello, everybody?
Hi.
All right, well, y'all have a fantastic evening. Thanks for tuning in and rocking with me as we have late night car conversations. Maybe we can start doing this every time she got practice. We can go live and I can just see what y'all doing. But have a super mega awesome evening. Remember, stay in a state of gratitude and abundance, because you never know what could change in your life. Today, tomorrow, 5 minutes, right now, as soon as you get off this stream. So be happy, smile, spread love, spread positive vibes. Call somebody in your contact log, tell them you love them, tell them you miss them. Just share the positive energy that we got, and we can create a domino effect. I love you all.